All right, Tori, thank you. Well, on the attack, the Cuomo administration not waiting for Westchester County Executive Rob Astorino to officially become the Republican candidate. 2 attack ads have been released this week. The second one saying that Astorino had been violating anti-discrimination laws, and we've got a little part of that one for you.
New York has a proud history of fighting discrimination. That's why it's shocking Rob Astorino has repeatedly violated federal anti-discrimination laws for years. He's the only county executive in the nation who refuses to comply.
And joining us now to talk more about it, our political analyst, New York Post state editor, Fred Dicker. We thought the claws would come out, and the claws are out, Fred.
Earlier than we thought, though, Liz. I mean, as you noted, Astorino's not even the candidate yet the governor's on the attack. And he follows up by several days a similar attack that Al Sharpton had made against Astorino when Sharpton last week went to Westchester. Just a few minutes ago, Rob Astorino responded. And let me tell you, this is some furious response. But firstly, let me just say it's very unusual for attack ads to start this early. And on the inside, Liz, the general view is that the attack may be because the governor's own polls are showing weakness for the governor amongst African-American voters. When you attack someone like this, and it's a very serious charge, it's basically saying that Astorino is countenancing racism. You're obviously directing the attack at people who are especially sensitive to it, and obviously African-Americans are, and that's what's at issue down in Westchester, where there are many really almost all-white enclaves, and there are some very major black cities and communities as well. So a few minutes ago, Astorino responded furiously and directly with a TV ad of his own, saying Mr. Cuomo's ads viciously attack us for defending our communities. How dare you throw out the race card when you know it doesn't apply? Have you no shame? And then Astorino goes on to note that Andrew Cuomo himself lives in one of the communities that's at issue here. And Astorino says, well, if the governor lives in Westchester, which he does, and claims that Astorino has been doing these things, which he is claiming, why did he wait 3.5 years to bring them up? Well, this is obviously a complicated issue. Astorino ran his campaign last fall, in part, Liz, saying that he would not comply with orders from federal HUD to try to get the counties, towns, and villages to change some of their zoning laws, saying that the laws are appropriate and the federal government shouldn't be trying to change local policies. These laws are not overtly racially discriminatory. They don't say African Americans can't live in a certain place. They're much more nuanced. They deal with multifamily housing and lot sizes and things like that. Astorino also points out that Nassau County has laws like this. So he's standing his ground, coming back very aggressively, and finally, and this sort of invokes Rick Perry from last week, he just now challenged the governor to openly debate this issue with him next week in Westchester County. Well, somehow I don't think the governor's going to do that, but it's interesting to see how aggressively Astorino is responding.
But, you know, aggressively when he's kind of backed into a corner, might he not, I mean, was there any reason, I know that you said that traditionally they don't start this kind of attack this early, but why couldn't he have been the guy making the first move as the guy that people have to come to know instead of being the one backed into a corner and then being aggressive?
Well, I don't think he's in a corner on this. I think that the governor may be very much concerned about polling results showing African-American voters are not enthusiastic for Andrew Cuomo. But this is not an issue Astorino would bring up against Cuomo right now. It's a local Westchester issue. And as I noted, he had brought it up in his campaign for re-election in a 2-to-1 Democratic county, Westchester, last fall, and he easily won re-election. So I don't think you would expect Astorino to have brought this up, but he's coming back.
No, I don't mean this particular issue. I mean any issue. Why was he sort of sitting back on his heels? Yeah.
I mean, he has brought up issues so far. They don't have the kind of sensitivity that a racial issue does, but he isn't even the nominee yet, as noted. That won't come until next month.
All right. We'll see where it all goes from there. Thank you very much. Clearly, it's going to get heated. And we're going to find out more from Fred on his radio program, Live from the State Capitol. It's weekday mornings 10 to 11 on Talk 1300 AM.